Welcome to New Sky TV. Guo Yuxin's love life exposed. Chun and Xiaoxu were both denied. Only he is the ultimate answer. The ultra-luxury necklace Chun gave her was casually tossed into the bottom of a drawer. When Xiaoxu booked a private island for her birthday, she only replied indifferently, "You've spent too much." The whole internet was speculating about who Guo Yuxin's true love was, until someone photographed her late at night wearing Huang Haowen's old coat, engrossed in eating a bowl of steaming wontons at a street stall. The frayed edges of the cups clung to her wrists, and through the rising steam, she looked up and smiled without any guardedness. Later, in an interview, when the host pressed her about her views on relationships, she looked at the camera and said, "What I need is the sincerity of a wonton stall, not an auction house number." The antique diamond necklace that Chun had pulled strings to acquire, when unpacked, was dazzlingly bright, almost blinding her assistant. Guo Yuxin took it, glanced at it briefly, and before her fingertips could even warm up the cool metal, she clicked the velvet lid shut and casually stuffed it into the bottom drawer of her vanity, a pile of odds and ends. The action was as casual as dealing with an expired brochure. The priceless treasure was instantly lost among a few worn-out lipsticks and loose hair ties. Its luster vanished. Xiaoxu's surprise was far grander. He booked an entire private island in the Pacific, using a helicopter to transport blooming roses in a champagne tower. A drone formation traced the initials of her name in the night sky, a truly dreamlike spectacle. The video call connected, and on the other end, he was determined, anticipating a moment of profound emotion. Guo Yuxin stood on the luxurious terrace of the island, with a fiery sunset and the boundless blue sea as her backdrop. Having heard all the meticulous arrangements, she merely nodded slyly to the screen, the polite smile on her lips barely deepening. "Thank you for the expense," she said, her voice clear, steady, and undisturbed, coming through the high-quality microphone. The sea breeze ruffled her hair, but couldn't stir the calm depths of her eyes. These two events, leaked by someone in the know, pieced together, instantly ignited a frenzy of online speculation. Guo Yuxin's love life became the hottest mystery. Chun? Xiaoxu? Or some other prominent name yet to surface? Fans debated, media analyzed, and various insider information and know-it-alls emerged, meticulously examining the two men's family backgrounds, talents, and every moment they appeared with her, attempting to determine who deserved the crown of true love. The clamor escalated daily, suspicion turned into revelry, and it seemed everyone was more concerned about the ending than she was. Until that blurry late-night video surfaced. The person filming was clearly not close, the footage was shaky, and the resolution was low. The background was the everyday life of a city's ordinary alleyways, an inconspicuous street-side wonton stall, a dim light bulb hanging under the plastic canopy, attracting a few summer night insects. Guo Yuxin sat there, on a simple plastic stool, at a greasy little square table. She wore an old men's coat that was clearly too big, light gray, outdated in style, with a frayed edge around the cuffs, the rough edge occasionally brushing against her slender, fair wrists as she picked up her spoon. She was engrossed in eating a bowl of steaming wontons in front of her. The rising steam rose onto her cheeks, making the tip of her nose slightly shiny. She ate with great focus, quickly even raising a hand to casually tuck a stray strand of long hair behind her ear, revealing her unadorned profile. Then, after someone across the table said something, she suddenly looked up, her eyes instantly curving into crescents, her lips curving upwards into a wide, unreserved, even somewhat childlike, radiant smile. That smile was so genuine, so relaxed, even through the low-resolution lens, one could feel the warmth and joy emanating from it. There were no spotlights, no script, no self-consciousness about maintaining the best angle, only the steaming heat of the wontons, the warmth of the old coat, and someone who allowed her to laugh so freely. In the corner of the video, another figure sat quietly, his silhouette familiar. It was Huang Haowen, the man on the fringes of fame and fortune, whose name was often associated with talent rather than wealth. He also had a bowl of wontons in front of him, but he barely touched it, simply watching her smile, his gaze fixed on her as if she were the most fragile yet most precious treasure in the world, focused and gentle. The internet exploded again, but this time, the uproar was completely different from all the previous speculation and clamor. A knowing shock, accompanied by a subtle emotion, spread silently. In a high-profile interview shortly afterward, the host finally couldn't resist steer the conversation towards the widely discussed rumors about her love life. The questions were cleverly and sharply crafted, touching on classic debate topics like criteria for choosing a partner in material versus spiritual matters. Guo Yuxin maintained an elegant and poised smile until the host pressed on. So, Yuxin, regarding your choice of a relationship, which has attracted so much attention, can it be understood that you value a spiritual connection that transcends worldly conditions? She tilted her head slightly, seemingly pondering for a moment, then slowly turned back, her clear gaze meeting the dark camera lens directly, as if trying to pierce through the screen and look at everyone who had spied on and speculated about her. Her red lips parted slightly, her voice not loud, but each word clear, striking the silent studio. What I need is the sincerity of a Wandam stall, not an auction house number. As she finished speaking, the corners of her lips curved slightly, her smile seemingly overlapping with the arc of the Wandam stall's lamplight. A guessing game watched by the entire nation had thus come to an end. The answer was never hidden, it was always in the warmth of that old coat, in the rising steam of that bowl of cheap wontons, in that smile that allowed her to shed all her glamour and be herself with peace of mind. While the entire internet is still processing the phrase "the sincerity of the wonton stall," the two at the center of the storm have quietly retreated to their own tranquil rhythm. Huang Haowen's serene elegance, so out of place in the glitz and glamour of the entertainment industry, has its roots. It's not something deliberately cultivated, but a gift etched into his very being by years of ballet training. Those mornings defying gravity, those sweats that honed extreme pain into a light and graceful posture, endowed him with a quiet tension. Standing like a pine tree, walking with the wind, it's not a deliberately contrived air, but an instinctive pursuit of control and beauty ingrained in his muscle memory. This elegance, quiet yet resonant, perfectly complements Guo Yuxin's increasingly insightful and understated aura, forged through the trials of fame and fortune. She no longer needed to play the role of a goddess. She could go makeup free, put her hair up, and cook him a pot of soup in the kitchen, her profile gentle amidst the rising steam. He could sit comfortably on a small stool beside her, working on his script, occasionally glancing up to exchange a smile with her. Even in silence, the atmosphere between them in the same room was soothing. Their presence was not a drain, but a nourishment. This was the mysterious compatible aura that outsiders perceived, but at its core, it was simply two already complete souls finding a rhythm that allowed each other to relax. If the attraction of temperament was the surface, then the deep-rooted friendship and gratitude for each other's guidance, cultivated over time, were the truly unshakable foundation. This bond was far more profound and solid than any sensational declaration of love. Back in the drama academy, Huang Haowen wasn't a prominent figure. He was somewhat aloof, spending most of his time in the practice room or library, seemingly separated from his classmates who were keen on socializing and competitions by an invisible wall. Guo Yuxin, already a rising star, noticed Huang Haowen quietly tidying up the props team backstage during an inter-school performance. While others vied for the spotlight, he carefully retrieved a loose button from his costume and placed it in a prominent spot. Later, she stumbled upon his unpublished one-man play script. The delicate insight and compassion for the complexities of human nature conveyed in the words left her stunned for a long time under the lights of the rehearsal hall late at night. She defied all opposition and insisted on bringing that obscure script to the graduation stage, inviting him to co-direct. That was his first work to be officially recognized. "You saw me first," Huang Haowen recalled long afterward, his tone calm yet weighty, "when I myself doubted whether that path was even viable." This scene was not a simple appreciation from a talent scout, but a recognition and affirmation of the essence of their souls before their artistic personalities had fully taken shape. It happened during that purest time, stripped of all the glamour and prestige that would follow. Therefore, beyond the ambiguous state of being almost lovers, there was a deep trust and understanding between them, akin to that of comrades in arms. This understanding made many things simpler in their future interactions. A single glance from her was enough for him to know whether she needed solitude or companionship. When he was stuck in a creative block, his silence and anxiety were completely accepted by her, requiring only a glass of warm water and quiet space. Thank you for watching the video. See you in the next video. Thank you.